of sarcoma, and it was 4th stage. The first doctor, as I came out of my anesthetic from the biopsy, said to me, "Beverly, this is Friday. You need to go in by Monday and start 4 kinds of chemotherapy into the site. And for 3 weeks at a time, you'll go very low. And when you come up, we'll then do a resection of your stomach. And after a big recovery, we'll then put you back in for the same kind of chemotherapy." I knew I was not ready to change my life as I knew it by then. And I said, I need another opinion. I don't know how I knew to say I needed another opinion, but I did. And he said to me at that time, "I'm so afraid you're going to miss your window of opportunity." But I knew I needed to have another opinion. So I told my team were my 2 children and their mates and my husband, and I strongly advise anyone who has a diagnosis of any kind, form yourself a team, because you can't do this by yourself. Get your neighbors, get your cousins, get your children, get your parents, but have somebody that helps you go to the doctor, take notes, transcribe things, take a tape recorder to the doctor's appointments. You need a team. So we started going on several different appointments. And that's another thing I beg you all to have. You need second opinions. You need third opinions. You need fourth opinions. We went to City of Hope, where the second, third, and fourth doctor said to me, "We not only agree with what the doctor at UCLA said, but we have one more sentence to add. If you don't do this, you have 2 months to live." Well, I didn't expect to hear that quite so harshly, and you can't imagine what that feels like, but somehow I knew that I wasn't ready and that I had other doctors to see and other ways to go. Our next 2 doctors were invaluable. The next doctor was the first doctor, and this is why so many opinions are so important. He was the first doctor to go back into my old cancer cells from my uterine lining cancer, found out that those contained cells weren't so contained, had gone into my abdomen, and thus formed the 8 large tumors I live with today. And so what he found out really, is that my cancer was hormone driven because it came from my uterus. So that opened us up to a whole new kind of therapy that nobody before had suggested. So this was amazing. This was our good news, if you can believe that that's good news. It was to us. And he said, "I want you to go to the next doctor at UCLA, Dr. Frederick Alber," and this was Dr. Forscher who had said this to me at Cedars-Sinai, "and together we'll come up with a protocol for you." And they did. They had it passed by the tumor board, and it was a shot of Lupron that they give to prostate cancer patients and a pill that they give to breast cancer patients. These are both hormone suppressors, and what I have was hormone-driven cancer. Well, we live in this era of hope, you and I, that is so amazing because information is being shared all around the world. We're so lucky. My mother, my grandmother, and my 2 sisters weren't as lucky as I was. Their doctor told them what to do. He did the best he could. They took his information. They did what they had to do, and unfortunately they died. I had the benefit of having all this information all around the world. I still am on those pills and that shot 12 years later with 4th stage cancer, and at 80 years old, I'm still going strong. These last 12 years have been the most powerful of my life because I've found a passion. I found a passion where I want to get to every cancer patient I can, not just a cancer patient, but anyone who has had any kind of diagnosis, and tell them, you can do this. You can form a team with your doctor, and you need to bring your best self to the table. You need to do nutrition. You need to do exercise. You need to do a creative outlet. You need to Bring your best self to the table with acupuncture, Pilates, meditation, visualization, everything you've got, bring to the table. Because you have the knowledge of your body and your doctor has the knowledge of medicine. Together you make a fabulous team. Well, the interesting thing is that as I turned 80, and as I realized I'm aging and I'm living in this new old way, because let's face it, our parents and grandparents were old at 60. And here I am at 80 playing tennis and hiking and playing golf, and we have friends all doing the same. Now, we may not hike to the highest peak of the mountain like we used to, but we can hike to the middle. So we're still in there. And what I found is that you need to bring your best self to the table in aging, just as you do in life. You need to bring everything you've got. You need to bring nutrition, exercise, be interested, be interesting, be up for learning, be curious. All those things are so important. You know, the last few years I've been doing little salons, speaking at little salons in and about Santa Barbara. And this last salon that I spoke at were a group of women who met every Monday for 50 years. So I expected them to be in their early 70s, late 70s, and I had fixed my speech so that it would work for them. And I sat down before I started to speak and started to talk to one lady, and I threw in right away to get a little applause for myself. I said, you know, I turned 80 this summer. And she said, that's so nice, dear, because I'm 94. Well, you could have blown me over with a feather. And I found out that all these interesting women that I talked to later were 87, 91, 93, 95. They had walked up those 23 stairs as though they were nothing because they were still learning. They were still excited to see a speaker that had something to say. And every week they brought another speaker or they brought a newspaper article. They were interested, and I found them fascinating. And I came there to inspire, but I left inspired. These were wonderful women and wonderful teachers. I have friends in their 80s and 90s who are reinventing themselves constantly, and I hope to do the same. I won't pretend to you that aging is easy. Oh, we all have problems with our eyes and our feet. Oh yes, we have all those things thrown at us. But it's how we handle what's thrown at us that counts. And you know, who we let in our front door is so important. Our girlfriends become so important to us as we age. Our husbands hold a special place, our children, our grandchildren, but there's a certain hole that our girlfriends fill that nobody else can. Because we can be 100% honest. They have no agenda anymore. We have no agenda. We can talk honestly to each other. Oh, how important our girlfriends are to us as we age. I won't pretend that we don't forget, however. We forget in a whole new way. We forget in a way, when we were in our 40s, forgetting meant that we would say, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to call you back last night. This kind of forgetting means we go into lunch and come out and see that our car has still been running. So I wrote a little poem about forgetting, and I'm going to read it to you now. And it's called We're in This Together. Remind me about the lunch we have next week because I'll never remember it. I'll never remember to put it in my iPhone or look on my computer where I so diligently wrote it with an alarm. Late at night, sitting at my desk. I wonder, is it this Thursday or next Thursday? 12:30 or 1? Was I supposed to call you first or you call me? I'll write it on this slip of paper and put it on my dashboard, and I hope to remember to transfer it to my phone. I'm late now, I gotta run. Have you seen my keys and sunglasses? They were just here, I just had them. You know, they're the black glasses I always wear. But that reminds me to tell you something before I go. Oh, wait, I just lost it. I'll remember it in a minute. It was about a movie we saw. What was the name of it again? Call me when you remember the name of the movie, and then I'll remember what I wanted to tell you. This time I really have to go. Oh, here are my keys. They were in my purse all the time, and my glasses are on top of my head. This time I've got to run. Did anybody see where I parked my car? So unfortunately, we are all forgetting, but fortunately, we're all in this together. So what I want to leave you with is that we are all in this together, with aging, with diagnoses, with friendship, with reinventing. We're all in this together, and we can do this. There was a quote that I first saw when I was diagnosed that I've tried to live my life by. And it was Emile Zola who said, "If you ask me what I came here to do, I came here to live out loud." Well, isn't that what we all should do? Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a joy to be here today. And I have books over here that you can buy. I have tapes of my documentary that I made. I have cards. I'd love you to all follow me on my blog and be with me and comment. And any questions and answers and discussion you would like now, it would be my pleasure. Thank you, Claudie, so much.
Woo-woo. Yes, please visit my website.
Yes, please visit my website at beverlye-feed.com. And I just love it if you would be on my blog and comment to me, and we could discuss things back and forth.
Become a fan, and follow.
Become a fan and follow. And I hope we can all remain friends. And please ask me any questions or discuss anything you would like to now. It would be my pleasure.
So fabulous. So fabulous. So that was about a 15-minute talk.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I subtracted the couple-minute, breathing exercise in the middle.
I wonder what I left out. I never know what I leave out.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send this to you. We just have audio going there now. I might have to break it up in a couple of parts. But a couple just feedback really quick while the audio's going there. Notice how when you do look at it, notice how you take up space, which is great. That's what we want to do. Benefit of having a lavalier on and no podium is that you can actually work your stage a little bit, right?
Right.
The downside of that, if you're being filmed, is you'll make your cameraman crazy. So that's one thing to take into consideration is what's being filmed. If you can, it'd be great. If not on a screen behind you, a poster board or something with a picture or your contact info while you're speaking. And you changed it up a little bit, but you were expecting that.
Can I leave out important points?
I don't think so. You started to share a little more of the details of your diagnosis, more of the doctor's stuff, which, some people that are familiar with it, but you could shave that down a little bit. But motivating, really motivating. And people, your listeners are either going to be affected personally or know someone who can. Oh, one last thing. You make suggestions, how to stay clean, eat, diet, exercise, all that stuff. I would be careful with terms like you, because people can start to, take offense, and you weren't doing any of this, you, which is good. But maybe change that to we need to be conscious of eating and drinking and exercise and all that. But just you're like a pro. I'm really excited to do the TV stuff with you over there at the station. We're going to connect again after the holidays and your trip, and after I talk with Matt, we'll set another day to get you over to the station where we will work and prepare on a stage with mic and lights and all that stuff. Well done. What I'm going to do